Hello, beautiful people. I hope all is well. My name is Alison. I'm a certified dating and relationship coach. And every week on Wednesdays, I do this live weekly Q&A. So let me explain to you guys how it works, because I've got people who's not following the rules already. All right. So first things first, boom. This green story, it's the same story that I put in my stories every single week. This is the story that you may use to submit your question. So there is a question box that is right there. You have about 24 hours. This has been up for 20 hours for you to submit your questions for me to then read anonymously and to answer. If you are not here on the live to hear it, it is a-okay. I save each and every live so that you can watch it at any given point in your life. If you have anyone who you think can benefit from this conversation about healthy dating and relationships, please go ahead and share this live with a friend. That's by clicking on that arrow right there at the bottom, and you can go ahead and you can do that. If we have time, which I don't know because I have a session in 55 minutes. If we have time, I will take questions that are placed either in the question queue or are requested to go live with me. But the priority always is for those who follow the instructions. If you want your question answered, you have to go ahead and put it in the story that is right here that's posted every Tuesday for about 24 hours before the live. Okay. So beautiful people, we are going to jump right in. Again, if you are just joining, I'd like to welcome you to the land of love. My name is Alison. I am a certified dating and relationship coach. I work with singles. I have coaching programs and master classes and all that good stuff to help people to get back on track in regards to their love life. So if you're interested, you can always click the link in my bio so that you can apply to work with me. Okay, let's jump right in to our weekly live Q&A. So the first question I received: my boyfriend is planning to move to another state and asked me to relocate with him. I guess you're out of character, so I'm going to be presumptuous. My boyfriend is planning to move to another state and asked me to relocate with him. I'm presuming she's asking, should she then go ahead and move? All right, so this is going to be my answer to you, okay? My first response is, do you have a good reason to move? So wherever this gentleman is moving to, did you have a desire to go there anyway? Were you thinking of potentially going on your own regardless to your status with him? Are there opportunities that'll be there that are afforded to you that aren't in the city or the town that you're in right now? If you would not have moved there on your own, I absolutely would not recommend moving with a boyfriend. Absolutely not. Right? And we can argue about the way you should treat a boyfriend versus not, and should you cook for a boyfriend, should you clean for a boyfriend? Well, then how can you prove that you're worthy and then you're doing too much and you're doing too little? But what I'm not going to do is to absolutely uproot my life and move to another city or town because my boyfriend asked me to. Now, if you would like to become my fiance, right? So you have invested thousands of dollars and giving me a symbol that says that you intend to commit to me on the long haul, then we can have a conversation. If you are my husband, and there are opportunities for me too, because not just because you're my husband, I'm just going to pick up and move across the country, right? Or wherever. But are there opportunities for me that, okay, we can engage, we can have a conversation. This is a practical situation here. Guess what? If you my boyfriend and I had no intention of ever moving to that place regardless, I'm absolutely not moving with a boyfriend. And I have to say that any person who would ask that is 100% impractical and not reasonable. Why the hell would I uproot my life in its entirety for someone, and I don't know the age, so maybe this is not where they are in their life, but if you're not there in regards to committing on that level of marriage, then that means you shouldn't be there committing in terms of uprooting your entire life. So I'll say again, if you had intentions of moving there on your own, let's say you were going to move to Atlanta anyway, you're in the beauty industry, this is what you wanted to do anyway. Let's say you're an actor, you wanted to come to New York anyway. If you would have moved to that place on your own anyway, cool. But absolutely not. I will absolutely not pick up and move for a boyfriend. A fiance, we can have a conversation. A husband, we can have 2 conversations. A boyfriend, you're on drugs. You are absolutely on drugs, sir. And good luck to you in your new city. Okay? All right. Next question. It seems like every time I date a guy, when close to Valentine's Day, he flakes. Why so? It seems like every time I date a guy, then close to Valentine's Day, he flakes. Why so? All right, so we need to have a conversation in regards to vetting. The vetting is not being done thoroughly and is not being done appropriately. The type of person who would purposefully ghost you right before Valentine's Day because they're afraid that by going out or purchasing a gift during that time is more symbolic, and they're absolutely right, than it would be under normal circumstances. They don't want to spend the money. Then that means that there needs to be some more vetting on the types of human beings that you are dating. Or epitome of class, it could be that he's not single, or he could be cheap, or he could just feel like if I go out on Valentine's Day, this makes you my girl, and I'm not ready for that. Anywhere it goes, those could be the reasons, and I don't care. I don't care what the reasons are, right? So what we're going to do is we need to do a more stringent vetting process to ensure that this person is serious about dating, period. Because if this person's not serious about dating, period, then absolutely when that mid-14th comes around, right, that mid-February, then this person's going to be running. And again, I see in the comments, he has a wife, he has a this. I'm telling you, it doesn't have to be all that. It could simply be that he knows that by spending quality time on that day, the assumption is going to be that our relationship is more serious than if we would have spent it on the 12th or we would have spent it on the 17th. It may not be he has a whole girlfriend and a wife. It could be that he's not ready to commit. And if that's the case, that means you haven't done the appropriate vetting. What does the appropriate vetting look like? So the first thing is conversation. We don't talk enough. You cute, I'm cute, we're going to be cute together. It doesn't work like that. Like, we need to have conversations about what your goals are, what your desires are. I don't like this question verbatim, but you need to figure out how to ask, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Like, we need to have conversations about what your desires are and whether or not I seem to be a good match for that. What we do is we go with the flow, and you're going to flow yourself right into being ghosted on the 14th, right? So we need to have more in-depth conversations about what this person's desires are, what their experiences have been. Have they had the opportunity to kind of be the man, right? Have they had the opportunity to date multiple women? And what are they looking for moving forward? And that is usually going to be telltale sign enough for you to be able to assess whether or not they're the type of person who will play you like that, right? So if this is happening on multiple occasions, we got to go back to math class. When I say go back to math class, that's called the common denominator. It can't be everybody else and it's not you. I've never been ghosted before Valentine's Day, and I'm sure if I asked a whole bunch of ladies on here, they won't say that it happened to them on multiple occasions. So if it's not happening to multiple women on multiple occasions, that means the vetting is not happening on your end. You need to ask more questions. I also would make an effort not to start dating somebody right before Valentine's Day, because that puts a lot of pressure on people. I would wait till after, right? But other than timing, ask more questions. That will help you to assess whether or not this person's even serious in the first place. Okay? Okay. How can single women with no one to go out with meet men besides seminar or online? They can go out by themselves. Simple answer. How can single women with no one to go out with meet men besides a seminar or online? Go out by yourself. Now, I will tell you that because I've been obsessed with Law & Order SVU for too much of my life, I am hesitant about going out by myself. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to tell you that I've pushed every human being, like all of my clients, like, girl, if you're not going out by yourself, then you're losing. Absolutely not. I will tell you that there is a stringent checklist that I require my clients to go through with whoever will be their potential wing woman, right? This is the checklist. Look, this is some good stuff. This is what people pay thousands of dollars for. So I'm about to give you some tea, okay? This is the checklist. Number 1, when you're choosing a wing woman, I need this person to not be loud, obnoxious, a drunk, messy, or negative. If I am with a woman and she exhibits any of those behaviors, she absolutely cannot be my wing woman. Why? Because I'm going to have to worry about her getting drunk and I have to care for her, except for us, instead of us having conversations with the gentlemen who are around us. I'm going to have to worry about the fact that her negative energy is going to be a deterrent to men, and they're going to assume birds of a feather flock together. And so if her girlfriend's nasty, then that means that Allison's nasty too. I don't want to be around someone who is starving for so much attention that they're dancing on top of tabletops. So yes, let's go through that again. When you choose a wing woman, she cannot be loud, she cannot be obnoxious, she cannot be a drunk, and she cannot be a negative Nancy. If she's going through a breakup in that moment, guess what? This is not the appropriate time for y'all to go out. She can't become this and da. And okay, so that's what I would do. That's what I advise my clients in my coaching programs. This is how you choose a wing woman. If you don't have a woman like this, one person, a single person, she doesn't have to be single. I mean, one human being. We're going to talk about why that's important in a second. If you don't have that person, then guess what? You have to go out by yourself. So you can go out by yourself. You can go out with this human being that fits the requirements that I just shared. Or you can do dating apps. These are your options. Or go out to other social events. But again, that's still the conversation of by yourself versus with a wing woman. This has to be one person. We're not going out with a crew. If you are going out with a crew, you are giving this person the impression that you are out on a girls' night and you don't want to be bothered. So you're going out with 5 ladies. It's ladies' night. Ladies' night means no gentlemen. So you cannot go out with a group of women and expect gentlemen to come up to you. Absolutely not. It's not going to happen. Or it's going to be awkward like Jerome, like awkward dudes, right? That can't read and doesn't pick up on social cues. Put it like this. If there is Alison, who is with one friend down the bar, and then there's Allison's twin, who's down the bar with 6 friends, which one is Tommy more likely to approach? He's going to take the path of least resistance. He's going to go with Alison, who's with one friend, because at max, he may have to buy maybe 1 to 4 drinks, right? I'm not even a drinker like that. So 1 to 4 drinks. Me, my friend, maybe twice. If he goes over to Allison's twin down the bar that has 5 friends, now he's buying 6 drinks. And this ain't about broke, it's about intelligence, right? Then he has to buy the drinks and hope and pray that I even give him a chance. Then he has to hope that all the girls don't make a big scene and laugh and say, it's ladies' night. Yeah, you're right? Who wants to put that amount of pressure on themselves? We're going out with one person that meets the criteria. I already went through the criteria. If you are just joining, my name is Alison. I'm a certified dating and relationship coach. I primarily work with singles to help them find the love and commitment that they deserve. I have coaching programs. I have master classes. I want you to click the link in my bio to check out my free and the paid so that you can get your love life together. Together. All right? In my best Brooklyn accent, together. Let's keep it moving, beautiful people. Next. How do I stop attracting situationships? The criteria I already said, girlfriend. So when I save this video, you can watch it. I'm going to save it around 6 o'clock. How do I stop attracting situationships? All right. So how do you stop attracting situationships? This is how you do it. This goes back to what we talked about earlier. Vetting. Asking the person very clearly from the beginning, what are you looking for? And holding them to task thereafter. If this person says that they're looking to go with the flow, then you have created a situationship, or you have accepted it if you continue to date them, and that is what it is, and we got to accept it because that's what it is. They told you what it was, you accepted it, so that's the end of the conversation, right? That's like saying, how come I keep getting low pay jobs? You applying to them, and then when they offer you the salary that's low, you keep saying yes. So if the person tells you from the beginning that all they're looking for is to go with the flow, to see where things go, whatever terminology is it these days, that means non-committal, and you accept it, then you've accepted it, right? Secondly, if this person does tell you that I am looking for a committed relationship, let's see where things go with us to see if we're a good match for that commitment. A-okay, you date. And then you need to give yourself some kind of time frame. First, I would ask the gentleman, all right, well, where do you see yourself in the next couple of years? Blah, 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 blah. Again, I'm not crazy about that wording, but y'all ain't paying me anything. Love y'all. So you can work out what that wording is going to be, right? But for my clients, I give them all the words they need, baby. So where do you see yourself? What's your timeline? Da, 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 da. You're going to figure out a smoother way of saying that because you don't want to be overly aggressive. And then once that time frame comes, it's been 3 months, it's been 4 months, it's been 5 months, and this person does not look like they're looking for a commitment. They haven't spoken to you about a commitment. You've asked about a commitment. They said that they're unsure. You a grown man, you're unsure. You a grown woman, you unsure. You know you sure, you just don't want to tell me. Guess what, Dipset? We just don't allow it. We just don't. This is not slavery. No one is, and you know, it's Black History Month. This is not slavery. Nobody is locking you into a situationship. As soon as you come to the realization, which should be early in the game, month 3 for me, month 3, maybe you want to be kind, 4 and 5, then it's Dipset. That's it. Like it doesn't have to be as complicated as we make it. Okay. Next question. How to approach careless, I love the Dipsets. How to approach careless typos made by prospects on dating apps. How to approach careless typos made by prospects on dating apps. All right, so I would say, like, do we really care that much? And if you do, I'm not judging you, right? Like, if you care, I'm not here to judge. I am a former teacher. How bad are the typos? Like, are we being a little bit too particular here? Like when there are so many things that can be wrong, meaning not a good fit for you, wrong with a person, are we talking 2 typos? How big is the error? Is it the difference between affect and effect? Like kind of something that's like a commonplace error? Or is it like, what's the error exactly? How many are we talking, right? Now, if it's to the point where it's difficult for you to read, right? Like this person, I don't know how they graduated high school, then they're not an appropriate match for you. And that's okay. And so they're not a prospect for you, so you keep it moving. But if it's 1 or 2, if they're writing in like capital letters up, you have to decide where the line is for you. For me, a common mistake that people make, a there or a there might not do it for me. For some people, it's the end of the world. You have to decide. But I do want to caution you on, is it really that bad? Or are you being a little bit of a jerk? Are you being a little bit of an elitist? You have to decide. I don't know. Maybe you want to book a session with me and you want to share your screen and you want to show me how bad these errors are, and then we can decide together. You have to decide on your own, right? A few wouldn't kill me. A lot would kill me. You have to decide on what that is, okay? I can't help. I'm so sorry, girlfriend. You got to decide. Okay. How available? Ooh, you snuck in 2 questions. You're cheating. Lady. I see your name. I'm not going to say it. You're cheating. But I'm going to answer it anyway this week. How available should you be when dating and getting to know someone? This is a really good question. How available should you be when dating and getting to know someone? So I am of the belief that I'm not going to play games. If I'm available and I'm interested in you, I'm not going to pretend that I'm not available so it seems like I'm mysterious, or I'm not doing that. So if you hit me up and you give me enough time to get my life together, you hit me up on Monday, can you go out Friday? I'm available Friday, I'm going to go out Friday. If I'm not available Friday, I'm not going. Like, I'm not going to play the fake busy game just for the sake of pretending as though I'm like more in demand or whatever it is than I am. What I can say though is that I am also not an afterthought, right? So if it's like 10 o'clock at night and you're saying, hey, what are you doing? I'm a little suspicious about, why are you hitting me up so late? What is your intention? Are you just trying to sleep with me? Like, did you have some other date that fell apart? So I'm not just saying I'm just, willy-nilly. But if it's within reason, I'm not going to pretend or lie like I'm unavailable just for the sake of pretending. Get it? Get it. I'll tell you this. My mom told me when she was dating my dad that she and him had a date for, 7 o'clock, whatever it was, right? 7 o'clock came and went. 8 o'clock came and went. So what she did was she turned off the lights. I don't know, this is in the Caribbean, by the way. She went into the back of the house. I guess you couldn't see the lights were on. 9 o'clock, he came ringing up the house phone. 9 o'clock, he came knocking on the door. And guess what? She pretended like she wasn't home. Because what you're not going to do is play me, right? I mean, clearly he won at the end, right? But what you're not going to do in that moment in 1976, what you're not going to do is play me. So we're not talking about folks taking advantage of you. But if they give you an appropriate amount of time and you're available, please go on a date. Stop playing with these people. We got enough problems out here in the world that we're not trying to play with people. Okay? Okay. Yes, the Caribbean version of Do Not Disturb. Turn your lights out and go in the back of the house. Okay? Would you recommend changing your location in dating apps after trying for months and not getting any contenders because you live in a smaller city? Absolutely. And I'm not sure if you asked me the same question in the comments, because I answered this question, a very similar one, yesterday about small town dating. So you gonna have to drive, sis. You gonna have to drive. Like, if I live, I'm in New York City, right? So if I lived in Westchester, then I'm going to open it up so that the distance allowed New York City. If I lived in Connecticut, like lower whatever Connecticut, I'm going to allow that the Bronx and Manhattan is going to be in there. Like, I'm not in a position, no, it's okay, girlfriend. I'm not in a position to only date the people in my small town. I want more options. So as a result, I am going to open it, and then be prepared to drive, though. Because what you're not going to do is you're going to open it to a bigger city that's an hour and a half away. Now, you expect absolute strangers that don't know you to then load up their gas tank to come drive you to meet you, because men are supposed to, quote, court women. They don't know you. So they're not driving 2 hours. So you better also be prepared to suck it up. Even Stevens, maybe first date, you go there, second date, whatever. But don't expect everyone to drop what they're doing and run to you 2 hours out of town, right? But absolutely, you should open up your options if you are in driving, a decent driving distance. Like, again, I'm in New York City, so our standards of driving is a little bit different. Like, anything more than an hour and a half is a dub for me. But within reason, open it up. Open it up, open it up, open it up, okay? All right, I'm trying to read this out loud and see if I can figure it out. I asked for more time. He ends it saying he wishes he could, but don't forget him if I move on. I'm sorry, girlfriend. I read that out loud and I read it in my head twice and I still don't get it. I asked for more time. He ends it saying he wishes he could, but don't forget him if I move on. You asked for more time. That means you were unsure. Keep dating until you're sure. When women are sure, we're sure. When people are sure, they're sure. You weren't sure, so you keep it moving. Quick commercial break. So I see a whole bunch of people dropping questions in the question queue. Let me explain to y'all how this works, because I probably will not have time for the question queue. This green story is the classic story that I post 24 hours before I go live. So this is Tuesday around 5 p.m. I put this story. It has this question box. This is where the questions go in preparation for the live. I probably will never have time to answer the questions that just pop up because there's no organization. And again, as a former teacher, I need organization. So I'm so sorry for those who are dropping questions right now in the queue. That is not how you get your question asked. You get it asked by paying attention to my stories every Tuesday and Wednesday early in the day and drop it in here. Okay? Okay. Where were we? Phew. Excuse me. All right. How do I avoid getting in too deep, too fast? I'm divorced and I'm used to having that person. You avoid going too deep, too fast by dating multiple people. I know you don't like that. I don't care. Thank you, Tiff. Oh, thank you for the God bless yous. Multi-date. Y'all don't like it. I don't care. This is how you increase the amount of eggs that are in your basket, so that if one of the eggs breaks or spoils, you have other opportunities and you're not overly invested in one person. So if they hurt you, you are okay. Okay, Newski, thank you for your commentary. How to avoid getting in too deep, too fast? Multi-date. Now you're going to be forthcoming. You are going to tell folks that you're seeing other people. You're not going to ever mislead. You're never going to be dishonest. So Sweetka, is that how you say it? Why can't you? You don't want to. Let's be honest. You don't want to, but you can. And again, this is not that you're sleeping with these people. You're having conversations. You're going out on dates to get to know people. All right. So I'm usually up for useful back and forth, but what I'm doing is I'm blocking people today because I'm not in the mood. So how do I avoid getting into deep to depth? Multi-date. That's how you do it. That way, you're not investing all that you can. Girl, yellow cake mix is too late. I blocked him. He can't see that. Good luck to him, though. That's how you do it. So that you're in a position so that you're not investing too much in anybody because you got a little bit on a little something on each plate, right? But if you're only seeing one person, then you are going to jump out the window and you are going to overinvest. And then that's not a win for you if that person doesn't see it the same way. Also, I go back to vetting. Go back to vetting. Ask the questions. See what they want. See what they desire. See if it's a good match for you. You guys are putting way too much pressure on yourself, and you're also putting too much pressure on the folks who you're seeing. Like, they should not meet you and just instantly know, oh my gosh, Danny is perfect and I just should be with her. Like, they don't know you yet. Like, can you give them some time too? Fair is fair. Yes, I know that they always say men know, but they still need time to know. They don't know instantly. They should get to know you. Okay? Isn't that just talking to people? I define dating as exclusive. Okay, I don't. So you're talking about exclusive dating, then yes. I don't define dating as exclusive. So maybe that's what you mean, talking to multiple people, meaning having conversations and going out with them, then okay. That's the same thing as I call dating. What I think you call exclusive dating, I call a commitment. So I'm only seeing this person. There's no one else that's a part of my repertoire. Like, this is the only human being that I'm with. Potentially, this is the only human being that I'm also intimate with. Okay? But yeah, same thing. We're just using different terminology. Okay? What to do when your partner becomes distant due to life stress. I have been giving him space. What to do when partner becomes distant due to life stress. I have been giving him space. So I'll tell you this. The first thing that I would do is to verify that this life stress is something. Because people love to say that the reason why they're distant is because of what they're going through. They're overwhelmed on their job, blah, blah, blah. I need confirmation because really, yes, baby, I said that. I absolutely disclosed that I'm seeing other people. You got to. It's the only right thing to do. And you do it early so it's not awkward. So, hi, James. It's a pleasure to meet you. What are you doing on this app? I'm looking for a committed relationship. I am seeing a couple of people to see who's a good fit for me. When you say it from the beginning, no skin off your back is not awkward. Do not wait. Say it from the beginning. Back to the question. What do you do when your partner becomes distant due to life stress? So the first thing I need to confirm is that this life stress is something, I'm going through something right now. What are you going through specifically? I need to know because I don't be believing that. Okay? So once we do that, once we confirm that there is a legitimate life stress, and I know this person and I know the story, so I think there is a legitimate life stress. That was just for y'all. Then I would give them the appropriate space. I would check in with them. I would let them know if they ever need someone to lean into, lean on, talk to, I'm there. I would recommend resources. I would send specific resources. So depending on the situation at hand, if it's a financial issue, I would send resources in that regard. If it's he's having difficulty with co-parenting with an ex-wife, I would send some podcasts that speaks about how to build a healthy relationship with an ex and co-parent. Like, whatever the circumstances are, right? I'm gonna give them the space that they ask. Make sure they ask for space. Don't be presumptuous. Sometimes we want space when we're stressed out and we assume that's what everybody else wants. So did he ask for it? Did she ask for it? They ask for space. You give them what they asked for. You check in periodically. You let them know that you're still there as a support. You let them know if they need to lean on you to talk to you, you're there. And I would send them resources. That's what I would do. Now, there is a point where this is getting a little ridiculous, right? Like, weeks, and you're my man. Like, she said, partner, this is my man. Weeks, like, you either need professional intervention because this stress is so overwhelming that this is beyond me. This is beyond any kind of resources. You need professional intervention, or we need to put this relationship on hold, and there's no such thing as relationships on hold. It means it's over. I'm going to start dating somebody else when I'm ready. Because how long is it that you're going to, in essence, I'm your partner, I'm your woman. How long are you going to shut me out in response to your life stress? Like, I should be a part of that life to help you deal with it, right? So I'm going to give it a couple weeks. After that, we need professional intervention, or this relationship needs to come to an end. Let you deal with your stuff. I am not waiting for you. I am not waiting for you. I am not waiting for you. I am waiting for me. If I need time to heal and move on and listen to some podcasts and do some meditation and do some yoga and listen to Alison and book a session and go to therapy, and I'm not waiting for you, I'm waiting for me, right? And then you get back on the dating scene. And if things are meant to be, it'll circle back around. I was with my husband when I was 18 years old. Circle back around when it's meant to be. All right? What if they're emotionally shutting you out and then blame you for falling back? So that's why you do the check-ins. So first of all, I need to hear from them that they say, I need space, right? I don't want to be presumptuous because that's the way that I deal in this scenario. So now I assume everybody wants space. I need him to say that. And then I'm doing check-ins. It's documented. The phone calls, the text messages, right? And if he says, oh, you fell back, then that means he just don't want you. A lot of times they love to say that I'm just going through a lot right now means I'm effing somebody else and you are a headache. If they have a legitimate issue and you're checking in and they still perceive, after they told you to fall back and they still perceive that is you falling back too much, they have their own problems. They need professional help. Okay? Okay. All right, beautiful people. I think I had one question. And I skipped it. Maybe I had two. Hey, Alison, I was ghosted by my fiance. I have been going to therapy and healing. Is it me? I don't know. What does your therapist say, babes? Right? I was ghosted by my fiance. I have been going to therapy and healing. Is it me? I don't know. But you're working with a professional. So, not that we can't talk. Like, I'm here for everybody, right? Any and everybody. 115 people now. It'll be 800 something people in a week. So I'm here for y'all. But the professional, what has the professional said? So when you told your story, which I hope that you're telling the whole truth. I am really good at identifying when people are not telling the whole story. I am. I don't know if all therapists are. And sometimes I get the impression that y'all ain't telling y'all therapists the whole truth, and y'all like to paint yourself as the angel, and y'all not telling the BS that you did, right? So me assuming that you have told the therapist everything, the good, bad, the ugly, the indifferent. Let me give you an example. When I do my alignment calls, right? That's a one-off. I'm not even really crazy about them. You don't really get any much like healing, right? But some people say, I don't need a whole thing. Just one time, Alice, I need to talk to you privately, right? When I do that, I lead with, hi, my name is Alison. Obviously, you know who I am. You booked me, blah, 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 right? I then go and say, I need to hear the whole story, the good, the bad, the indifferent. I said, I cannot give you sound advice unless you tell me everything. Even the stuff that makes you look bad, I will not judge you, okay? So I go back to say, I don't know if it's your fault. I don't know the circumstances. Did you beat him? I don't know. I don't know if it's your fault why he ghosted you, but your therapist does. Go to your therapist, make sure you tell them the whole unadulterated truth, and they will reflect and they will tell you where you went wrong and where they went wrong. But I can't answer that because I'm not your professional. I'm not the one who's assisted you. I don't know the background. It could be. You could be insane in the membrane. Like, I don't know what you've done to this man. Did you beat him? Did you kill his cat? I don't know, right? The good question is, who popped the question? When was the question popped? Like, how long but we don't have any of that context. So I cannot even imagine to give you an answer, because if I gave you an answer, the answer that most people think that I'm going to say, because I'm a woman, I'm going to automatically stand up for you and say, oh, he's terrible because he goes to you. I don't know what you did to that man. I don't know. Go back to your professional. That's the person who's been servicing you. Make sure you tell them the entire truth, and they can give you an honest reflection of where you went wrong in this circumstance or where this gentleman went wrong in the circumstance. But unfortunately, baby, I can't answer that question. I see more questions that are dropping in the queue, and I love y'all, right? I love y'all. Maybe you knew. Maybe you just joined. But I'm sure that I said this a couple of times. My name is Alison. I'm a certified dating and relationship coach. I primarily work with singles to help them find the love and commitment that they deserve. Every Wednesday, I do this free live Q&A. You don't have to book a session on Wednesday if you send me your question in advance. What does that look like? It looks like every Tuesday afternoon through Wednesday, I have this story up. It looks exactly the same. It's me looking inquisitive, but with makeup and in green, right? You drop the question in, I read it, I answer it. All right? That's how it works. So I see more questions coming in. I love y'all, but y'all not listening to the instructions. It's not how it goes. Okay? I think I have one more, and then this is what I will do. What I will do is I will take someone live. So if you want to join live and you don't look like a weirdo, and I say that lovingly, meaning like you have a profile pic, your name is not crazy, then I will take your question absolutely live. But I'm not reading through those questions. I did my part. My throat is parched. Okay? I think I have one more though. From the rules, when we follow the rules. Okay. Ooh, people sneaking in questions. Excuse me, that question was not there before. How to have, okay, y'all complain about these guys and not proofreading. Y'all ain't proofreading. How to have, okay, I'm going to just have to reword this whole thing. I think she's seeing someone who fits all of her non-negotiables, but the person's not good in bed. I see people dropping questions in the box. I see people still dropping questions in the comments. I love y'all. Y'all gonna make me mad. Can my people who are members of the Land of Love, can y'all do me a favor? Can y'all talk to these people who are not following the rules, please? I think the question is basically she's seeing someone who fits all of her non-negotiables, but he's not good in bed. What does she do? I think that's what she's trying to say here. Okay. So, a couple of things. If sex is that important to you, then you need to make it a part of your non-negotiables. That way, the person didn't meet your non-negotiables, you keep it moving. The only problem with that is that you'd have to sleep with each person to see if they meet the non-negotiables, and that might be problematic for you, right? Thank you, Dion. I love you. So, I don't know if that's a good idea. I have clients who put that as a part of their non-negotiables, and I tell them, so you know, that means that everyone who gets to a certain point, you're going to have to sleep with in order to test this. So, and they say, okay, and they use protection, and who am I? They grown, right? They pay me their money, and they got their help. So I would not put that as a non-negotiable because I ain't trying to sleep with each person to see whether or not I know it limits I know that it limits the characters. That's on purpose. So if you have an in-depth question, you could click the link in my bio and you can book a session. Okay. So, back to the non-negotiables. So maybe you want to put it as that. However, that's questionable for body count, right? If you care, we all grown, you pay your bills. If you don't care, you don't care. I don't care. We don't care together, right? So what I would do is I'd talk to him. I would introduce whatever needs to be introduced to the bedroom. I would bring toys if that's what's necessary, candles, massage oil. I would bring lingerie. I would have conversations. I would tell him what I like. I would tell him what I don't like. For me, I feel like there are so many more things that are more important that if he is in a position to learn, I would get to teaching. I would much rather teach a gentleman the way that my body works and the way that I would appreciate being made love to than try to teach, like Music Soul Child says, teach me how to love. I'm not doing that. I'm not teaching a grown man how to be a man. I'm not teaching a man how to love me. I'm not teaching a man how to protect and provide. But you can teach a human being the way that you want to be treated in bed. Now, someone said, is this about size? Is this about whatever? I still think that toys can work no matter the circumstance. I say make it work. If this gentleman meets all of the other non-negotiables, I think you need to make it work. To me, that's not a big, huge deal. Now, if he's not sexually attracted to, like there's other things, I would make it work. There are people who don't have certain elements. There's some body parts that are missing due to whatever, due to, surgeries, due to military service, and their wives are fulfilled. Make it happen, Captain. Like, that would not be a deal breaker for me. I'd make it happen. If they meet everything, like, you know how problematic it is for us to find someone who meets all of our non-negotiables? I think you can make it work, sis. You got to communicate, as Nico Sky says. Someone asked a good question. She said, a statement. She said, I wonder if men are booking sessions and asking questions. Yes, they are. They are. Okay? So have no fear. Guys are trying to. This is not a one-way street. And I'd like to think it's because I try to come across as fair on both sides. Okay? All right, beautiful people. So if there's anybody who's interested in going live with me right now to ask their question, you can go ahead and request to go live by clicking on the camcorder, because this is 1997. Click on the camcorder that's right there on the screen with the plus sign, and then you could join the live and you can ask your question. If not, the other way to do it, every week, Tuesday to 5, from Tuesday to Wednesday, 5 p.m. Eastern, is to go ahead and drop it in the box, okay? And if you need any additional support for free or for paid, and always start with the free, y'all. Always start with the free. You're going to invest first with your time, and then you invest with your money if your time was worth it. You will go ahead, you click the link in my bio. You can check out the free trainings I have for those who are healed and ready to date, for those who are still going through heartbreak and they need that additional support, ebooks that are free, how to deal with being single on Valentine's Day. You need to snatch that up before you're crying and sad and angry, because most of the time it don't be tears, it be anger, misplaced hating ass anger. Go ahead and check out the freebies. And if the freebies are a good fit, but you feel like you need some more support and you think I'm a good fit for you, because I'm not a good fit for everybody, nobody is, then you'll go ahead and click the link in my bio and schedule a call so we can talk about how my program can help you. This is not a free coaching session. This is what I do professionally. This is the free session for everybody. All right, beautiful people. I am going to run. I now have 14 minutes to chill before I have my next group. Women who saw value and invested in themselves so that they can find the partner that they deserve. If you think you're one of those people, go ahead and click the link in my bio and schedule a call. It has been a pleasure, and I will see all of you next Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a good night. Bye.